Hey guys, it's Shane here from Tank Hunter Miniatures, and today we're doing a battle report. We got the Astra Militarum against Josh's Necrons.
Hello again.
Alright, so yeah, this should be good. So this was the tournament list I brought that came in first. So I've got my Lehman Russes all there, the Rogel Dawn, so we got Punishers, the, where's the Tank Commander? Where did I put him? There he is. Just hanging out. And yeah. So what do you got for yours?
I'm running a
Josh?
pretty resilient list at the moment. I've got a squad of 20 warriors backed up by a warden with the hypermaterial ablator and Orokin the diviner, so you know that squad's not dying. To keep it even more alive, I've got a ghost arc there and a reanimator, so we're going to see some warriors coming back. To keep things humming, I've got Imatech the Stormlord with a Technomancer for that 5-up Feel No Pain and a 5-man squad of Lich Guard to just make sure he just does not die. In reserves, I've got myself 2 squads of 3 heavy destroyers, all with the anti-tank options, and riding in the Ghost Arc, just to make sure it doesn't explode first turn, is what looks like a Scorpec Lord, but is actually standing in for Xeras, who's also going to be keeping everyone pretty well alive.
Are they the heavy destroyer models, or do they have longer guns?
No, the heavy destroyer models have longer guns.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to get.
So they're just the regular destroyers?
They're just the regular
destroyers. Yeah, no, the only difference is they have a longer gun.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. And you've got your flayed ones that have already infiltrated in.
Oh yes, and sneaking onto the table, I've got 2 squads of flayed ones, 5-man apiece. One right up here, obviously, and one all the way down the far side of the battlefield over there.
Yeah, yeah. Because we already drawed up the mission and everything. So I've got the table, quarters, deployment. We're doing, what was it, Sites of Power?
Yep, Sites of Power.
Yeah, Sites of Power. So that actually really hurts me because you get the extra points for a character being on objective in no man's land. So I've only got the Tank Commander. So this is where this list sort of gets a little hurt. So he's got to come, and he's got to take this objective here and just basically sit on that the whole game to get the extra points.
So can you guess what I'm going to try and do, folks?
Well, that's it. So I got to defend this. We also picked the missions. So I got the Defend Stronghold. And what was the other one I picked?
It's on the paper.
I'm not going to go over there and look. I'll work it out later. But basically, it's going to be very defensible. I'm just going to get points by just sort of holding my objectives, and hopefully that'll be enough.
And I've got Cleanse and, believe it or not, Bring It Down.
So that'll be, yeah, definitely the correct option. So we'll see how this goes. This will be a pretty matched up battle report. Like, we're taking out a lot of, I guess, randomness to it. It's going to be more tournament style. Yeah, so we'll go into this, and once we get the results, we'll come back and talk about it later. All right, so let's break down this battle. So we had a crazy result. So yeah, showing, but we'll go through it turn by turn. So this was the deployment.
It's a real parking. It's a classic parking lot.
It was. I mean, that's the hardest part with taking this many tanks, is fitting them in. That's been a classic trouble. But for the objectives, yeah, my goal here was to basically run to the left because I needed to get into no man's land with the character to get the points. That was how to win. So I had to keep one on the home to defend that. So the plan was just spread to the left and just secure the front.
And you can see the Rogel Dawn right up the top there. That's the play you want to make, I think, is you take that Dawn, which is a really tough tank, and you just cram it down the enemy's throat. You make it their problem.
Well, that's it. It's 2-up save, and it's got that many wounds. Like, it's
that many guns too.
Yep. I might have been better giving it because I always get. I'm just thinking, but it's a bunch of heavy bolters.
It's a bunch of
cannons.
Honestly, against infantry, the more Daka would probably be better, but there's no wrong way to build it.
Because the Dagger, it's pretty weak, like the Oppressor cannon, and I mean not the Oppressor, the Gatling one. Because it's got no IP, so it's like, I think having the blast of the Oppressor it's more, because that's good against everything.
Yes.
Alright, so we go to your deployment.
Yeah, not much in the way of complicated strategy here. The idea is move the warriors onto the center objective, and that becomes their home. The real trick would be keeping much of anything else alive, but that's why the heavy destroyers started off the board.
I was just thinking, if you had brought them in, would they have...
Oh, I would expect you to 100% end them turn 1.
You think I could have?
Yeah, I think like you've got the long-range firepower to counter them, and at this point when you have this many tanks and still have the Dawn, like there's not enough killing potential.
Oh yeah, the Dawn can do a pretty good shot against them, I guess.
And there's not enough killing potential in the heavy destroyers to stop everything and the Dawn.
Yeah, alright. So yeah, I guess it kind of works out. I'm always like holding stuff in reserve because you're losing a turn of shooting. So it's like, is that really viable? But yeah, to keep it alive longer, yeah, I guess it depends if you're likely to get blasted off the map.
I am.
Turn
I am
one,
likely
yeah.
to get blasted off the map.
So it's very dependent. Alright, so next. So this was after my movement phase. Was this actually... Yeah, that was against the end of the whole turn. So all I did was move everything up. So you see the flayed ones that infiltrated on the side. Yeah, this was pretty much exactly the plan. So at the end of the turn, I secured everything I wanted, and I got a good point lead, maximizing the objectives. All right, so next was...
This was the end result of the shooting. I'd lost the Ghost Arc. That was crippling. That was absolutely crippling.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'd managed to shoot off the Ghost Arc. I'm just thinking, if you had kept that though, because you're pretty much reanimating all the guys every turn.
But just imagine you attack. I had to pop a stratagem to reanimate them
Oh,
in the middle.
right.
That if I had the Ghost Arc, I'd just get that for free.
Oh, okay, that's it. Ugh. Yep. So you would have had a lot more command points. All right, so that was worth doing then.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, and that was just a quick photo of me
just
melting the...
Look where all the flayed ones aren't.
Yep, they moved in and we just opened fire. But like I said, they were cheap enough. You need that infiltrate, and it cost me a command point to Overwatch. So
those Punisher tanks are horrendous in close quarters. It's a very aggressive tank build and very dangerous to come at it from any angle.
So yeah, then by the end of this was so this was the end of your turn. One, you would move them all up, and yeah, you were able to grab the objective, and we were contesting it there. And you did a huge amount of damage to the Dawn, getting him down to half health.
Yeah, Reapers still actually have a pretty good killing potential if you can get Zeros nearby, if you can give them the extra AP. The one thing that really tied all of this together is the huge aura that the Reanimator has. So I keep it back, I keep it obscured, and it's just makes everything that much harder to kill for the rest of the game.
Well, that was the thing. We shot them every turn. They came back. The only way... But I was just thinking, it was like, yeah, I could have ignored them more, but then again, there wasn't really anything else I could have shot anyway, so...
The thing you have to stop with the Warriors is, if they get onto a point, they're an absolute pain to get off. And that's all they'll ever really do. Their weapons are, for the most part, pretty lackluster.
I mean, you say that.
I say that, but you got close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in the short range, there's still AP2. That's pretty significant, especially this edition.
This was...
So that was...
turn 2.
Yeah, so then at turn 2, I was able to move up the other Punisher. Yeah, that's right. At the end of my turn 2, we managed to take a huge chunk of the Warriors off.
Huge chunk.
But the Rogal Dawn died.
Yep.
Yeah,
died
you
in
did
melee combat as all Imperial tanks.
That's right, because he charged in, and then he died.
Ground like 3 of them to death under his treads.
Yeah, he got most of it. Like,
he got a lot of them.
If I had rolled a bit better, I reckon I could have got the entire squad, and that would have been...
But you also notice there's no Lich Guard down near Imatech.
Oh, that's right.
Very dangerous place for me to be.
Yeah, that's right. We were able to shoot off all the Lich Guards. So that was handy.
But bear in mind, Imatech has reanimated at this point. You did kill him.
Yep. I mean, not that it really mattered that
matters,
much.
because we are just so hard to see.
And that was the thing. Maybe it would have been better if you'd, I guess, moved up the Lich Guard, but then they would have just died faster.
Exactly. Like, this Sword and Board Lich Guard, they have 0 killing potential against tanks.
Would they have been better if you had just abandoned your home objective, moved the Lich Guard out in front of the warriors, and put them in front of the Dawn?
Oh, maybe, but I mean, it kept your tanks in that back quarter quite nicely.
Yeah, I guess if you had gone heavy in one zone, I would have gone equal as well. So yeah, it split things up.
Yep. This is post my move, and you can see I've managed to bring 1 or 2 of the warriors back. Sort of snuck everyone into the ruins over there, and finally brought in my heavy destroyers.
Yeah, that's right. And they took out the other tank, so the other Punisher is gone. But at that point, it was like I didn't want to shoot with him anymore anyway.
You didn't need to. Everything you were doing, nothing of it was tied to stopping me.
Yeah. I think I needed to probably move around, just keep moving up to the sides, just ignore the middle.
Yep.
Because the middle was worth points, but yeah, maybe
middle
we
was only
should've.
worth points because I was on it.
Yeah.
The fact that you penned my entire army in, so much of your run was holding 2 objectives, keeping your home objective completely isolated. And you played this game very well.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that suits Guard as well. That's what they're supposed to be doing.
This is your turn. I believe that's turn 3.
Yeah, that must have been turn 3. Yeah, so I've moved up. That's right. The Punisher got down to 1 point. Yeah, went down to 1 health. And yeah, this was the end of my turn 3. So we're just pushing up to, basically hold you back a bit further.
Absolutely.
But then also the other one at the top just held you from scoring more points for that.
And if you can see really closely, you got Imatech back down to 1 wound.
Yeah,
it was so close.
He almost died. He almost died
So
to fire.
close.
So, yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, we sort of worked out, all right, we can sort of fast track what the rest of the game is going to be.
Yep. It just made more sense. I was getting points to contest victory by killing the tanks, so it made the most sense to just not have the tanks there.
Yeah, so we moved the tanks behind cover, and it's like, all right, we'll just go into damage control. We just need to hold out a little longer, and we'll get turn 5. We'll just win on points for holding out. So you see, we just moved everything into cover because pretty much.
And at this point, you didn't even really bother shooting at me.
No, I didn't shoot that turn. This was the end of. This was turn 5. This was the end of my turn 5. I just moved. Sorry. This was the end of turn 4 because I still had the guy there. He still was just alive. I needed to hold him there so he could get the points at the end of the turn.
Yep.
For securing no man's land and everything. But yeah, then by the end of that.
Evaporated that tank.
So that guy was dead. By the end of the turn, all that was left was, I had 4 tanks left. The 2 hiding because they were worth more alive than dead. And I don't think... They might have been able to take out 1 squad, but they were pretty... a squad of the destroyers, but they were pretty well in cover. So I don't think I could have... they were just too defensible at that point. It was safer just to move on and hide.
I mean, at this edition, these destroyers are just tough.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be, but I think... But then again, if I had gone not just vehicle, that you would have bought regular destroyers, not heavy, and...
Oh, regular destroyers can't hurt a tank. They're only strength 5 guns now.
Yeah, but if... They're more for just regular infantry.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they've had marine focused. That would have paid in, so it was pretty even. And yeah, the end. I'll just show the video. Oh yeah, but he advanced, sorry. Alright, so we come down to this really clinch point of the game.
Xeris didn't advance. He moves 10 inches. I'm gonna charge him if this doesn't work.
Oh my word. Alright, he might need to, but anyway. So Josh is on 50 points. I'm on 58. He will get 9 points for destroying this one Ross. It's on 1 wound left. What I had a 5 up save. Yes! All right.
Cannot deny the Gorse.
All right. At least knowing that Sarah's, because I swore he advanced. No, the other one advanced. The other guy advanced.
Imatech coming for you.
So that he's dead. So now you hold that objective and score the points at the end of the turn,
Yes.
giving you
+9, 59 to 58.
Oh.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, dang. All right.
Good game.
All right, let's go into a quick post game. So that'll be a recording. There we go. So at the end of the destroyers, we're able to move up, destroy that last tank, and get the victory by 1 point.
It was a very close game.
It was. Because, yeah, I knew they still had potential. Even though it was a lot of infantry, a lot of smaller stuff, it still can take it out. So, yeah, it very much was... It was very even game.
The notable points here, I think, is the guard tank movement is super aggressive, and that's so devastating to any army. Like, turn 1, you own 2/3 of the board, and it's going to take everything I have to contest that.
Yeah, it's sort of, you think, because they're only movement 10, they'd be slow. But no, that's still fast. That's fast for a lot of stuff, and the board isn't as big as it used to be. So maybe if it was still a 6-foot game you were playing on, yeah, it would come into effect more. Because this is what I found in the other games I was playing, especially against, like I said, with Death Guard, because they're so even slower. I got, secure all the zones and got a massive lead for that when I played against him. And there was nothing he could do to really stop that. So I'm at the start of the game, I'm on every corner. So that's pretty doable.
I think this is a very strong guard list for what is essentially just one type of unit, really. Like, tanks in this edition, yeah, anti-tank is pretty dangerous to tanks, but everything else is just going to struggle to even hurt these things.
Yeah, that's what I've definitely found. Like I said, my hardest thing so far has been fighting knights, because knights are the same thing as tanks, but they're good at shooting and they're good at hitting in combat. So they're tanks that can do two things. Oh, and they have better involves, and yeah, you can buff them more, but we'll see what happens. And the other one was the Nid, basically the Nid version of a tank. They're big bugs that have the giant cannons. They were able to mess me up pretty good.
Yeah, Nids can do some pretty dangerous things this edition.
And of course Eldar. But it really depends the Eldar list, because the two I went against recently were pretty not that hard to take care of. The first one that had two fire prisms and a bunch of the Wraith constructs.
Always going to hurt you.
Exactly. And when I brought them, that was the thing. The only thing that could take me down was more Eldar. So yeah, no, really fun game with this one. This is probably definitely, because I was thinking what else we could do with this guard list, but it's pretty optimal. I don't think you can really, to sub out one type of rust for a different one, there isn't really a better advantage. I think having just the normal battle cannon, just for the rerolls, you got good reliability.
The normal battle cannon is a very versatile weapon. It's like the backline Lehman Russ. Hypothetically, yeah, you could swap it out for an indirect fire tank, but you're losing out on potential to actually harm your enemy.
Yeah.
You could swap it out for a smaller, lighter tank, but what are you going to put those points into exactly? Having a Lehman Russ in the backline there, specifically designed to hold that objective come what may.
That's his job.
It's a very strong strategic option.
Yeah.
I dare you to deep strike nest to that thing. I dare you.
Yeah, so yeah, I think pretty much we've cracked what is the best sort of rust list. But yeah, I don't think there's a better sort of loadout as well. I think this is gonna do the job. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we might try out some other stuff, but yeah, that's it for this one. Yeah, would you have done, I guess, anything different for your guys, or for what? Would you brought something else?
Any
or?
opportunity to just sort of slide around the edges here? Any weaknesses that you can spot?
Yeah. But no, I'm pretty happy with that, how that went. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it for this guy. We'll try and have more up soon, because this was good. This was fun. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.